Lawyer exposes that DHS told a lie to the judge to delay submitting Harry's records. He never applied for a valid visa. The Department of Homeland Security says that it needs an extra 2 weeks to hunt down Prince Harry's immigration records, as a federal judge weighs whether or not they should be made public. The department made its request in a court filing Sunday, saying that it needed more time to respond to Judge Carl Nicholls' order to provide more information about why his immigration details should be kept secret. The Conservative Heritage Foundation is seeking the release of the documents amid questions about whether Harry lied about his substance use in his visa application. The defendant has begun the search, but searching for and reviewing the records has taken longer than anticipated, wrote DHS lawyers in the filing. They also said other government agencies may need to review the documents before they can be handed over to the judge. Thus, having established good cause, defendant respectfully requests an additional 14 days up to and including April 4, 2024, to comply with the court's order, they wrote. However, this delay is suspected of creating the possibility of amending Harry's declaration or creating new declaration if Harry hasn't filled it. It's possible there are no records. He just walked right in and started hanging out. If he had a 0 to 1, he could have had it express processed by just paying a small fee. A lawyer said that finding a literal prince's legal paperwork about where he lives would be so hard to find amongst the plebs. I find that very hard to believe. Could be either that he just moved and never applied for a visa and no one cared because he's a famous prince, or because he's a famous prince they're trying to delay and cover for him because that would show as common folk that the elites aren't untouchable. I suspect that the judge will give them more time, but with some serious side-eye if they really need more time to locate documents that I would think would be accessible on the computer. Maybe they're seeking more time to come with their reasons to keep those records private, which if I recall correctly, was also something they were directed to provide to the court. So it's really looking like the dumb prince waltzed into the USA without a valid visa. Maybe okay if he was just visiting, but looks like he's been working and residing there for years without proper paperwork. I hope he gets deported. Earlier, the DHS refused to release any information in order to protect the Duke's privacy, and the matter is now in federal court as Judge Nicholls decides on the best course of action. After a hearing last month, he told DHS its arguments were insufficiently detailed for him to make a ruling. Having reviewed the parties' written submissions and heard oral arguments on the motions, the court concludes that in-camera review is necessary to determine whether the records in dispute come within the scope of the claimed exemptions, he wrote in an order. And he gave the Biden administration until March 21st to submit declarations that detail with particularity the records it's withholding and the particular harm that would arise from public disclosure of them.